Welcome back to the Big Band Scene Revisited. I'm Gerald Woodruff, and I hope you enjoyed Part 1 and Part 2 of Woody Herman's interview on the Big Band Scene. So without any further interruptions, we're going to go to Part 3 of the Big Band Scene Revisited with Woody Herman live at Disneyland on the Big Band Scene Revisited.
After all these many years, 40-some-odd years, Woody, is leading a band still a labor of love with you?
Generally it is. There are some days when you get too tired to particularly want to do anything. But by the same token, I think most days are good and productive, and I truly enjoy music.
Yeah. Well, as the years go by, do you think it's getting a little tougher to keep a large band together economically?
It's some days it is, and some days it isn't. You know, this is the most answerless business that God ever created, because one week a band is doing fantastically well, and the following week they're in the depths of despair. So it's very difficult, really.
You ever thought about, within this youthful band of yours, ever reactivating the Four Chips or the Wood Choppers that you had one time, the band within a band?
Well, I like to play in a small group once in a while, and I did not too long ago. I did a record with Lionel Hampton, just Lionel and myself, and a rhythm section. But that's, think, as far as I want to go with a small group. If we're going to play old swinging music, that's what we'll do.
But I mean, reactivating and doing all new music, new charts. You don't have to do fan it.
No, I don't. But I also feel that that my bands say everything I have to say musically, and I wouldn't care to go with a small group unless it was really for fun.
Well, with all these excellent musicians coming up, Woody, where do you think they're going to be playing? I mean, you're only one band, and there's not that many left around.
Well, there are lots of places to play besides playing the kind of engagements I do. There's a lot of people preparing themselves for symphony work. There's a lot of them preparing themselves for commercial work, you know, such as jingles and radio or television, whatever the facets may be. And the majority of musicians who are truly active earn their living that way, more so than ever playing in a band. So I guess it'll go on and on.
Well, now, when you do school clinics in the high school and college, did you ever have young kids come up to you and ask about not only playing in the band, but maybe someday becoming a leader? Or do you find that a lot of musicians want to play in a band and use it as a stepping stone to get in the studios?
Well, I think this happens a great many times. And but I feel that the youth today is so involved and wants to be, and wants to produce bands and wants to build bands, that I feel that they will get the medias to cooperate and do what they should have been doing for a lot of years, helping young people who are interested in music. And I feel that they will get the result that is needed. I think they'll get grants from the government, from the different large corporations in America, just like big business gets grants. So young people can do it. They have the energy, and they have the good, clean, clear minds. So I'm depending on youth.
Yeah, well, do you think big bands should be subsidized by the government?
Well, I think they should be subsidized by big business, not necessarily the government at all. For instance, all the big advertisers, why don't they sponsor youth-oriented musicians and singers? I don't understand.
Yeah. But what do you think needs to be done, Woody, to get the bands more exposure on radio or the television or even the movies? Remember, you played in two of them, one Winter Time, I believe it was, and
New Orleans. Lots of movies, but they were very bad movies, and so I'm not interested in that. If I was an actor, I would certainly be interested in the movies, but I happen to be a musician, so consequently I didn't feel it was very important to me, to my career, but by the same token, I enjoyed doing it, and but I know we need the aid and the help of radio and television and the record industry above all. And thus far, we can't get any movement out of any of them. But I think that youth will demand it and will get it. After all, I've spent my career, but a whole lot of young red-blooded cats coming out.
But at the rate we're going now, Woody, it looks like there won't be nothing left but ghost bands on the road. Now, unless we can get some new leaders and some new breed.
We really have some great bands all over America, but they don't happen to be traveling bands. That's all. So there's no real problem. Problem is finding a niche for the all this talent that's around. That will take some doing, and I feel that the industry itself is the one that is responsible for this. So when they get tired of playing their own games and producing their own records and allowing the business people to once again, as they have for many, many years now, take over all the creative chores and the creative jobs, and feel that business is the only way it can sustain an average of intake of dollars. And with this kind of thinking, I don't think we'll get much cooperation. But fortunately, there are always some people that are a little more sensitive and a little more honest with themselves and the world. So we'll just have to sweat it out.
Yeah. Well, now, aside from your own band now, what other type of music do you ever get a chance to listen to, Woody?
Well, I'm limited naturally in the amount of time because when I'm not traveling, I'm trying to rest and I'm not paying attention to music because I don't relax to music. When I listen to it, it's part of my efforts and part of my work. But I do listen to all kinds of music. I try not to exclude any, no matter, even if I find it quite hopeless sometimes. I will still try to analyze why they did what they did and why they're doing what they are doing.
What about your daughter? I know your daughter was up in San Francisco. She had a group recently. She still got the what was it, the country rock? Or?
No, she's a country musician. She lives and works in Nashville, and she does a lot of session work there as a bluegrass fiddler. And she also is involved with a large music store that deals in antique string instruments, and she's very interested in that sort of thing. But she's probably one of the best authorities on bluegrass that I've ever met.
Well, that's beautiful, Woody, that your own daughter, she continued in music too. Although she didn't move along big band lines, though, she was in music.
Well, no, you can't. In other words, I think your individuality is more important than what your father did.
Well, Woody, of all the charts that you've done over the years, which one stands out above all others? Or would you say all of them? Or is there one chart that you've done all these many years that stands out above all?
Yeah, it's probably one we're going to do next year. And I can't tell you what it might be. That's the truth.
That's beautiful, Woody. Well, Woody, I want to say, next time you go traveling down the highway at 90 miles an hour, please make sure that you stay out of the way of the other cars now.
I don't drive that much anymore. I'm not too sure that I am as fine a driver as I always thought I was. You only have to make one mistake.
And keep the band going, will you?
I'll certainly try.
Our guest has been Woody Herman. We've been backstage here at the Carnation Bandstand in Disneyland, USA. And Woody, thanks a lot for dropping by and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much. See you.
We'll look forward to your next album, Woody.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed part 3 of the Woody Herman interviews on the Big Band Scene Revisited here. So for the Big Band Scene Revisited, Fred Woodruff Productions, and Sierra Pine Studios, I'm Gerald Woodruff.